Hello friends, welcome back to the Art Room with Mr. Eck. Today we're going to be working on a landscape project. A landscape is generally a sideways, like a wide project that features a scene that is outdoors. Specifically, I want you to be thinking about as you drive through our state of Texas, what are the kinds of scenes that you see? Do you see hills? Is it flat? Are there trees? What kind of trees? Do you see any flowers? Do you see any animals? That kind of thing. So I want you to picture a glimpse of outdoor Texas. And what does that look like to you? Because that's what we're going to be making today. We're also going to be focusing on symmetry and balance. So let's talk about that real quick. So specifically, what we're going to make today is we're going to have a picture on the top of our paper, and on the bottom we're going to do a printmaking technique that's going to make a copy of the top. So we got the top, that's going to be our landscape. Underneath is going to be a reflection, so it's going to look like our landscape is right by some water, and you're going to be able to see a reflection from the top to the bottom. So number one, that's symmetry, when the thing from the top matches the thing from the bottom. It could also be a left-right thing, but in our project it's going to be top and bottom. And balance is when your artwork is evenly balanced. It means like there's an equal amount of things up here as down here. There's an equal amount of things on the left as on the right. So our artwork will both be balanced and symmetrical. So let me show you step by step how to make what I call reflections of Texas. So I have sketched out two different ideas when I think of Texas. When I think of outdoors in Texas, what I think of. Number one is a ranch scene, a farm scene. We've got a ranch with horses and cows and chickens and pigs and whatever else you would like to add. If you're going to do a ranch scene, feel free to change it up. It does not have to look just like mine. This is just an idea, an example. The other idea is, especially when I'm driving out west towards Austin, I see lots of beautiful wildflowers. So I'm going to have a mix of wildflowers up close. So I drew as many wildflowers as I could fit, and you have to include some bluebonnets, right? Because that's our state flower. That's the tall one with the buds on each side of the stem. And then in the background, I included a lot of pine trees because in East Texas, where my wife is from, they have lots of beautiful pine trees. So I'm combining two things that usually aren't side by side, but I've got the wildflowers from Central Texas and the pine trees from East Texas, and some hills, which is also from Central Texas. So I'm just it's kind of an outdoors mesh of Texas. So I'm going to pick one of these to draw, and let's get started. So first off, you're going to get your paper and you're going to fold it in half. And take the bottom half, match it up with the top, make sure the corners are all matched up, hold it down and press. This is what we call the hot dog fold. You may know it like that. That way it looks like this. So we're going to be drawing on the top part. I want you to ignore the bottom part. Fold that under. Make sure you're only drawing on the top part. So I'm going to I've decided to do the farm scene. So I'm going to redraw my farm scene on this larger piece of paper, and then I'm going to color it with markers and Sharpie my lines, and then I'll show you what how we're going to make the reflection. It's super cool. I think you're going to like it. Alright, now comes the coolest part. So I've drawn my entire scene, and then I've colored it with, or then I sharpied my pencil lines, and then I colored it with Crayola markers, and I made sure that everything that needed to be colored is solidly colored. The more ink, the better this works. So if you get a dry marker, then let me know and I'll replace it with a better one, because we need lots of ink for this project to work correctly. And make sure that everything, color it really well. Alright, moving on. Alright, so now I'm going to unfold my paper. So if you fold it correctly, then all your top scene should be on the top and nothing on the bottom. So now, fold it like that. Alright. So at your tables, or I will bring you shortly, a sponge and some water. I'm going to dip the sponge in the water, and I'm going to put the sponge all over this bottom white area here. Get it nice and wet. Don't rub it over your marker part. Make sure that you get water all the way to that middle crease right by where your marker starts. Nice and wet. Alright, now comes the cool part. I'm going to fold the wet part up and onto my marker art. Then I'm going to press it all the way down, and I'm going to rub it. You want the water to soak into the marker. For about 30 seconds. Give it a nice little massage. Alright, and when you think it's time, fill up the bottom part and see what happened. Look at that, isn't that cool? Now it looks like my farm is right beside a pond, and I can see a reflection, a perfect reflection of my farm in the water. It's perfectly symmetrical, it's perfectly balanced. And that is how we make Reflections of Texas. Well, I think my Reflections of Texas art turned out very beautiful. I like it a lot. And I hope that you have fun making yours. And last little tip here, lots and lots of color. I can't say that enough. You need lots of solid color up here so it transfers really well down here. And beyond that, that's what we're doing today. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time in the art room.